Hello everyone, my name is Nathan and today it's time for another episode of Oxygen Not Included here in our 1 duplicate challenge. In the previous episode we tapped into the natural gas geyser and so far it is running smoothly. We noticed a couple of improvements we can take on in the future. However, today I would like to supplement this power production with solar power. In order to do so, we need to be able to refine glass, which I believe we still have to research. The glass forge is what we need and we have access to all the research that is required for this. So without any further ado, we're gonna enable the rat bolt generators in order to fuel up the material study terminal. While we are doing that, I would also like to expand my transit tubes to go all the way up, and then I want to end up somewhere around here. We're gonna add that transit tube and of course connect it with the conductive wire. And as usual, we can just follow the piping. This is so absolutely convenient. Usually you just have to add so many transformers for each of these access points, or you just use the big cable, which is also a pain. But basically the way we're doing this, we're only going to be needing one big cable and then everything can stretch out from there. And I'm actually not really sure whether or not there are meteor showers in classic mode here on the main planetoid. Judging from the regolith, I thought so, but I never actually witnessed one. But essentially what I would like to see is a insulated layer here as a barrier, and I'm gonna build that out of mafic rock just because I think it looks spacey and fun, and it's also gonna stretch across the other side all the way to the end. We will be digging up all of this and 2 tiles on the other side as well. Though this transit tube here will have to be replaced with a crossing. I would like to keep all the gases inside and actually deal with them. And then for now I'm just gonna leave myself ladder access, but this is gonna disappear as soon as we installed the transit tube. And thinking about it, we might want another access point right here. This way we can also get to the top portion of the base, but below the protective layer here. Actually, looking at this, I might prefer the cables just going down straight. Yeah, I might do that. And for these guys we can even make it easier by connecting them like so. Wonderful, the big building has started and I'm actually installing the transit tube access point right away, because if I got that one in place everything is gonna be a little bit easier. Alrighty, we are one step further, all the tubing and the power cables have been placed and now I'm working on the top portion. Once we make this breach right here, we should get the notification that we breached space. And then maybe after that we will be getting meteor showers. Anyways, I probably want to focus on these tiles. I don't want any of the gases to escape. And then we'll just see what happens. Oh, and I almost forgot. We of course also completed the research. We now have access to bunker tiles, which is, in case we are getting meteorites, also handy. Oh, I think we got it. Colony achievement. Which one is that? Pulling back the veil. No, that was just revealing most of the map. In preparation for the solar panels, I'm also gonna drag my main cable all the way up. This is gonna go through the flooring there with a joint plate like so, and then we probably just drag it over, though we could also use a transformer here. Yeah, I mean this is still gonna be part of the mega resource shaft. You know what? This is actually more brilliant than I anticipated. We might not even need all of this shebang. All we can do is have this as an infinite storage for natural gas. And of course over time these 2 generators will be running non-stop, and that's when we actually will be using up the natural gas. But look at this, even though we have 9 kilograms in here, the geyser is just going nuts. And of course that is because it can actually. I wonder if there is a limit. We're just gonna leave this running and see how it goes. At some point we have to take care of what's going on here with the carbon dioxide. I think for now it will be enough if I just deconstruct 1 tile here. But of course in due time we want to deal with the carbon dioxide in the base properly. So this way over the next few cycles some of this carbon dioxide can just go away. Before I go ahead and finish everything on the top, I would like to get my glass forge setup going. It is going to be very simple. We're going to start with a bunch of insulated tiles. This is the most important part. The glass forge needs to be on insulated tiles, otherwise you're going to fail. There it is. I made the space for it. How much power is this going to require? The same amount of power as the metal refineries. So that's fine. As long as I don't have the rat bolt generators running, we should be good. We're then gonna take some insulated pipes and bring them up here in order to release them with a liquid vent. And I want to do that on top of a metal tile inside of this biome so it gets cooled down immediately. And we're gonna use iron for that. Now you want to keep this pipe as short as possible since we are moving molten sand through it. And as soon as it gets cold enough, it's gonna solidify and damage your pipes. But like this, just a short distance and it's gonna land on a metal tile. It should solidify on top of that, and since it is very cold here, we should also be able to craft a whole bunch of glass, at least enough for the solar panels. There it is, the entire setup already done. Let's try a bunch of crafts just to see how it works. And this is actually also going to be a machine I put up to priority 7, just like the refinery, because I want this to be done as soon as I give the commands. Geez, yeah, with this natural gas I really accidentally made an infinite storage. That is indeed very intriguing, and ever since the pressure has become a little bit higher, the steam is also behaving better. Though I will have to exchange the lower pump here, the liquid pump, with another gas pump so I get the steam better out of the room. This might actually be a change I have to implement sooner rather than later, but that means we can get rid of the hydro sensor and everything, which is also good news. Now, can we craft some glass? That is looking good. Okay, now let's have a look at the molten stuff. There it is, and it's dropping out immediately, transforming into glass. So that was quite successful, and we're now doing all the crafts one after another. Great stuff. Okay. So with that out of the way, I'm gonna make some more progress here on the top, and then I'm gonna be right back. Alright, here we go. It is now cycle 545, and I took myself the liberty of already completing the upper portion here on the right side. We now have to do the left side as well, and this is when we can start to install the solar panels. Contrary to the spaced out planetoids, we have a lot more space on this one, so we can take a good portion of it for the solar panels and then a good portion as well for the rocket program. But yeah, at this point I'm just gonna go ahead, complete this set of ladders. That should be enough to get rid of everything. And as a matter of fact, we just get rid of everything. Yeah, that's what I want to do now. It's gonna be a few cycles until this is actually done, but it does go quicker than you would think. And we are still not at the point where we actually reached the 20 base stats. So I thought about the increasingly longer times it takes to actually level up a skill, and I decided when I reach a certain skill's vanilla cap, I will start to increase the experience gained for it. But up until base stat level 20, I'm gonna leave it alone. As mentioned, for me, having a overpowered dupe needs to be earned, so it actually feels right. I also got my power cable here finished, and you can see this is hooked up to the main grid. So theoretically we can go ahead and start to wire this up as well. Yeah, I think to get a good head start, I'm possibly gonna fill up this entire row with solar panels. Now, can we already build solar panels? No, we cannot, but what we can do is research it. Solar panel, yeah, we only require the appliance science research, also 20, so that is gonna be quite achievable. There's something else I noticed when I activated the second gas pump here for the natural gas generator. Everything kind of went out of balance and I managed to overpressure the natural gas geyser. Right now we are catching up again. It is now at 8 kilograms or so, but I did have quite a bit of steam in here, so I think over time it is going to overpressure either way, and we just need to make sure to have a large enough gas storage. Also, I have a lot of kilocalories, and that is because quite a few animals died when I actually dug up the room here upstairs. And I forgot what they were called. It's the guys, yeah, right there, Shov Vol. So they were basically hanging around all this terrain, and therefore I now have way too much meat that is just gonna spoil. Here we go, getting rid of everything. It's gonna feel so much better once this is cleaned up. I'm having so much fun with this series. I really want this to become my best base ever. And I'm also really glad that you guys seem to enjoy it. The basic research for the solar panels has started. I noticed another inefficiency, and this is so crazy. I never noticed this with many duplicants. So for instance, when they bring materials to the glass forge, they first take on another command and then immediately come back to the glass forge, even if this one has a higher priority. So with every machine, it's gonna be mandatory to actually fill them up with auto sweepers, so the duplicant only comes here in order to do some labor, but we must prevent myself from actually bringing materials to all the machines, as that results in absolute inefficiency. Novice research is completed. We'll be completing the advanced research in today's cycle as well. Let's have a look at the material study. We are storing 50 wrap bolts in here and another 50 are on their merry way. I had to disable this wrap bolt generator because while using the refinery or the glass forge, it was too much for the cable. And there it is, completed. How wonderful. Let's go ahead and complete the other research as well. I just have to come closer to the material study. Right now, I'm still firmly believing that having everything at priority 5 and just doing it with the duplicant's proximity is probably the best. And then we can have higher priorities with automated systems to prevent going there at the wrong time. Also, every now and then, of course, I just have to keep on producing petroleum in order to get my plastic. But I guess a petroleum boiler really soon would be desirable. But you can see the biome is holding up quite well and we have all of this polluted water at the bottom. I guess for a little change we're gonna work here on the upper side on this cycle, and it would be great if we could finish this in maybe 1 or 2 cycles. The problem is gonna be to build the heavy watch wire because I don't really have much iron on the top there. Also, I seem to be running low on mafic rock. We need to produce some and we can do that by actually digging it up here. You know, it would be great to actually have a macro to automatically target my duplicant without zooming to him. I would like this move to command to be available wherever I am. That would be so great. There we go. We are getting a little bit more mafic rock. That is going to help to finish the protective layer. Jeez, another cycle passed by. This just goes so quick. But I gotta say, even after 549 cycles, I always feel better after the poop session. Check this out, there's so much meat on the floor. This is insane. I picked up 10 kilograms of meat. It is really cold here. I think I'm just gonna leave it on the floor. It will be deep frozen here. Let's rather work on this for the rest of the cycle. Wait. Come back to me. Oh my gosh, we're gonna be getting so much regolith. This is like even crazier than sand. But yeah, I gotta say, I'm a little bit disappointed that we don't experience meteor showers here. I was kind of expecting it. On the other side, it is gonna make many things much easier and solar panels more viable. Oh, wonderful, there's actually loads of mafic rock here. That is plenty to finish this. But yeah, it does take a bunch of cycles, well worth it. I mean, just look at this finish. I love it. Nice, we're through with the ladders. Now I'm working my way down, and as soon as we've done that, I think we should finish the research and start placing the solar panels. How much glass do I have? By now I have 1,000 kilograms. That is going to be enough to get just 5 solar panels in place. So I think in the next cycle I'm actually going to increase the priority here of the material study terminal. We filled it up and we can now finish the research. Now this tile here unfortunately melted where we had the first Weezword, but technically it doesn't matter. We weren't really using the wrap bolt generator there. I'm also gonna put the oil refinery to 4, so as soon as we finished the research we are not going to the oil refinery, but we'll be going up to the building jobs. There it is, research completed, just taking these apart and going back to building. That's good, so we can put this back to priority 5, and this is a lot of the time how I steer my duplicant. We now got access to the steam turbine, the solar panel, the sauna and the steam engine, which means we basically arrived in a new era. I'm already gonna get myself prepared here. I'm guessing I'm gonna start with my first solar panel here, and then we are just gonna do 5 for now. And then this is gonna contribute a whole lot to our power production. All we need is a bunch more batteries so we can actually get by through the night. Maybe we should make sure to first build the mafic rock tiles so the solar panels don't block our way. But yeah, let me just go ahead and wrap all of this up, and once that is done, I'm gonna be back. Alrighty, we are reaching the goal of today's episode. I wanted my 5 solar panels in place. They should be hooked up. Yes, indeed. And I brought this automatic dispenser again in order to ship a whole bunch of materials up that I then can use to build my stuff. But essentially we are now done. The solar panels aren't quite necessary just yet, but together with the natural gas geyser we tapped into the previous episode, we now have suitable power to go into our first contraptions using aqua tuners. So to wrap up the episode, let's get those solar panels in place. Just a few more to go. I'm actually really glad we got all of these things out of the way, especially also cleaning up the top portion and making room for a rocket program. There is my third panel. Oh no, these shove walls sometimes spit up regolith. It's nasty. There is my fourth solar panel. I did not manage to attack this guy. Oh well. And there is the 5th one. Oh, so good, so good. Now, as mentioned, we're only missing a couple of batteries to actually make good use of the solar panels. But after what we just accomplished, this is gonna feel very easy. Let's maybe clean things up. Actually, I might use these ladders to build something, so I'm gonna keep them in place. But there we go, we now got access to solar panels, and we can dive into more power-hungry contraptions the next time. Really looking forward to that. But with that out of the way, thank you so much for watching, guys. I really hope you enjoyed today's episode. Have a great time, and see you in the next one. Bye-bye.